this morning, so go drink your pudding.
Legendary beast of destruction.
The result of the project is you.
But I could do nothing.
This morning, so go drink your pudding.
Legendary beast of destruction.
The result of the project is you.
But I could do nothing.
This morning, so go drink your pudding.
Okay, now. It's been some time since I last made something this level of a classic. I know. Sorry. Currently, I have the best possible conditions for this kind of setup, so let's just begin without any further ado. Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome to Invisible Gaming Channel, striking at your hearts from the dark side of the moon. In this stream, it will be the 7th stream for Project Altered Beast, or as it's named in Japanese, The Chronicles of the Beast King, Project Altered Beast. Previously, in the last two mute streams, I collected as many enemy data as I can. And I'm honestly starting to get sick of collecting them over and over again. I might as well just go to the final boss fight, as I am fully upgraded beasts, and maybe then the other datas can be obtained. Who knows? Before we start, I'd like to pray as per usual. I used to do before the mute videos. Everybody. So peace be upon all of my subscribers, new and old. Peace be upon all of my fans and followers, family and friends on YouTube Friends United Discord server, and from the Beasts of the Altered family. By name, Thunderstruck Gaming, BH09 Gaming, Luxba, Marcos, Nitro Crash, Mark Icy, Rogajan Karudan, Cryfield, ZBTV123, Matthew 1121, Slaganda Crew 85, Arforel, and Muscle Band Gaming. May you all be in good health. May you all take care of yourselves. I pray to be able to reach to your ideals and expectations. And I hope to do the very best not to share myself or you in this recording. With that being said, peace be upon you all, and may you have great health, and may you stay strong in our hard times. For today, I will give it one more try, only one more try to gather these enemy datas. Also, I'm going to visit every single boss layer and try my best to kill all the uniques that are missing from this list. Once we travel from area 1 to area 15, I'm going, regardless of the results, I will go through to the last boss because I'm really sick of waiting all this time. One more thing is, let me check it very quickly. While I get going, I'd like also to give a shout out for Bob Express, our newest member in the YouTube Friends United Discord server. Let's see. Okay. While we go through this recording session, I'm going to answer one of the questions that my friend Aforel, in fact, asked me on this on the Discord server personal channel, which is, what kind of games or game genres do I like exactly? The answer will take some time. That's why we will be playing through the game. And while I do so, I'm going to answer you. I'm going to go through area 1 to area 15, purging everything in my way. Regardless that I need data from them or not. Because I am that level, have had enough of I'm on that level of I have had enough of the data storages being held by the random number generator RNG factors, whether they spawn or not. I'm going through every room, killing everything in my way, purging the entire place, and nothing's going and all is happening. So I got sick already. We need the bloated corpse from Area 2. I have no idea which one I should be going for. We have the mole from Area 9, the Daniclear Roses from Area 3. This is supposedly in the secret Area 4 behind the purple tumor underneath small sewer. Go the spillway after the auto garage. With memories, I have no idea where this thing is at all. Also have the same kind of enemy in Area 10, the Raptor in Area 7, Wasp in Area 4. Basically, I will go. I don't even know what is exactly upon. Okay, in case I have no idea how to get these creatures because I have reference to which kind of one of these is not like the other graphics change. The difference. I'll do the courtesy of going through my backup files for the PS2 game. It's my older recording, and simply put, review it from there. Call it cheating, I don't really care. Call it cheating, I don't honestly care. I am sick of all the time backtracking non-stop, and in the end I get results. Where is this? Not this one. That one. Can I break this thing? No, I can't, of course. Okay. So, a friend asked me which kind of genres do I enjoy mostly nowadays. I am a person that grew up mainly with the PlayStation 1. First games I ever owned were Bugs Bunny Lost in Time, V-Rally, I believe, and Missile Command. Also War Games Defcon 1. Supposedly my father owned the games of Missile Command and War Games because they both were supposedly too mature for our ages back then. Still, we did play them. The Bugs Bunny Lost in Time was an action-adventure platformer. It was not bad, but honestly, some of the levels in it should just have been completely cut from the release, because they were a torture to play through. Later on, I got myself a copy for Spyro 3 Year of the Dragon, and then it's Pyro 1 and 2 both. Also action platformers. Then the first ever game of a Crash I played was Crash Team Racing. That's why I at first thought perhaps the Crash games were mainly racing games, not platformers. Then I discovered with time that Crash is actually a platformer, not a racer. Later on I bought Bugs Bunny and Taz. Also, my parents were tricked by Kingsley's Adventure, a very well hidden gem. I could easily say it is the hardest game right after Ghouls and Ghosts for the shape of Maximo games. The Soulless Army and Maximo 2 also. I tried out playing Gauntlet, Dark Legacy, and Gauntlet 2, but I didn't like him at all. I'm a player that used to enjoy, kind of, the more challenging games and puzzle games when I was younger, but not anymore. Do we really have... Actually, I used to enjoy harder games, I used to enjoy puzzle games, not any longer at all. I used to enjoy horror games as well. First ever horror game I ever had was Resident Evil Dead Aim for the PS2. Thank you, Windows. Yeah, but battery being full. Also, let me see here. PS1, X-Men Mutant Academy 2. Played it. Tekken 3. And Bloody Roar. The first, I believe, 2 games. Right now, I already emulated all of Bloody Roar games. I love that series very much. I prefer it over Street Fighter and Tekken both. It's also SNK, King of Fighters. Everyone is lesser for me than Bloody Roar. Simply put, I enjoy it so much when humans are able to transform into something that is more than a human and less than us, the weakest possible creation in the world. Frankly, I hate the human race. I just hate it. Let's go back to our main topic here. Currently, what am I into? I felt it's asked me since I made a recording for Sugar Connery's funniest moments in Pokemon XD and Pokemon Guild of Darkness and Misdreavus' funniest moments. Okay, one moment. Still 50%. And frankly, as for Pokemon, I used to be a fan to it in its very first few seasons, and then I stopped completely since I moved from it into Digimon and into Yu-Gi-Oh! As shows. These shows were never meant to be for kids. Yes, they were supposed to merchandise and advertise the card game, but these games were never, once again I say it, meant for kids at all. Whoever took the idea of Japanese school kids going through magic, black magic and mythical prophecies from Egypt, summoning literal demons and creatures from the dark side, and sacrificing humans with lots of adult only and mature only events as a kids show is purely and ignorant. Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, Digimon, All of these are shows for teenagers or adults only. They are not for kids. They are meant to advertise their supposed gadgets for the teens to roleplay or something like that. Call it something like Dungeons and Dragons. Nobody understands that these things are not for kids. Never were meant to be. You know that. And since, sadly, it is a toy that, therefore, it's for kids mentality, everyone are tricked into this ideology. I used to be a fan for all of these, and I also played Yu-Gi-Oh! Cursed Memories on the PS1. Also, Yu-Gi-Oh! Cursed, Duelist of the Roses on PS2. Also, I did play on the PC Yu-Gi-Oh! Dueling Chewy the Passion, I think its name was. Frankly, I enjoy watching the shows and watching people play the game much more than playing them themselves, because I don't like to play games with extremely unfair RNG, where you must gain access to the strongest possible summons and creatures in order for you to guarantee your win. I do enjoy sometimes collectathons. Altered Beast, by the way, is considered to be also a collectathon, since you must in it collect the beast data, all of them, in order to finish the game 100%. A friend's question was about Pokemon. I mentioned that I wouldn't mind emulating Pokemon Legends Arceus on my laptop if it can hold into the game emulated in it, because one of my biggest disliking points through Pokemon was that I was once again raised in an environment where I only played the 3D graphics settings. I don't much enjoy 2D. Not too much. I do play some RPG Maker games in 2D, but not many either. Side scrollers, even though it has its own fandom and fan bases, I'm not a fan of them. Also about the Metrovania, altogether just forget them. Forget Metrovania games completely. I hate them all. I hate roguelites completely, and these games where you just have to explore blindly in an environment that's completely messiness. I hate them. And everything that requires abnormal levels of challenge, masochism to the purest levels of sadism. I'm looking at you from soft. I simply do not recognize your existence altogether. So I do like action games, adventure. I like platformers, racing to a certain point. I used to play some 3D car racers, V-Rally, Need for Speed, the like. I enjoy mascot-based games, Spyro games, Crash games. I hope the sound is working well. I didn't change the settings at all. And I do enjoy the unusual games, such as Psychonauts and some games that are based on films, not all of them. My biggest kind of prank was with Jumper, Griffin's story. That game I finished it only once and then I purged it from my collection altogether forever. I simply hated it with all my heart. Monster collecting. I played some Monster Super League on the iOS. Played it for approximately 5 months while I was joined by one of the girls in the game. Sadly, after the developers scaled up completely the graphics settings, I was unable to replay it anymore completely. Monster Super League is a very gacha, in English, gambling heavy game. If you play it. And although the portraits and the creatures you can summon are painted and done, it is just a trap for consumerism, and I really hated it. You wish to get the best possible portraits and characters in the game. Either you have to pay for them, money, cash, or you'll have to play for years upon years until you get the right to get them. Thus, I quit it forever. I spent 9 years of my life playing MMORPGs, and while playing them, I upgraded myself from someone who enjoyed so much playing the classic sword and shield, the classic medieval style, into a person that loved magic control to the maximum. I like destruction magic using the elements fire, ice, electricity, earth, air, lightning, as well as any kind really. Magic currently is my go-to. I play games. That's why I tried to play Lichdom Battle Mage. It was not bad, but also didn't like it much rather. Everyone who says that classics such as Doom, Castlevania, Metroid, etc. If you didn't play these games, you never played video games at all. Would you please kindly tie a noose and kill yourself? Because this is extremely biased. I hate all the games that I just stated their names. I hate Doom, never played it. I hate Castlevania, never wanna play it. I hate Metroid, never wanna play it. And frankly, with time, not from the publishers themselves, but rather from the cultist fandoms, I grew to hate all of Nintendo games with mascots. I contempt completely all Mario games, all Samus Metroid games, all of Zelda games, thanks for the Breath of the Wild. Yes, that game that right now the people are making it to be its own genre completely. Not the publishers, but rather the fandom itself is the reason why I hate it, loathe it, and will die rather than play it. Mario games have become a religion of themselves. If you don't like them, then the mob will come after your soul literally, and not figuratively. Metroid games, if you don't like the classics over the 3D and the first person, essentially you are a hypocrite, you are blasphemous, and you should literally be executed or lynched. I do not joke around at all, never. And whenever I say something, I literally mean it. with all this madness going on, I built in my heart a complete sense of contempt, hatred, grudge, and loathing for all of the, let's say, too much famous games. Almost anything that is Nintendo and is also the AAA, I hate it by default. I enjoy their older games such as Chibi Robo, even forbidden Super Mario Sunshine was one of most hyped up games. I wanted to play it. I wished to play Super Mario Bros. The first ones. I enjoyed and liked the super power-ups, the lure, everything else, but nope, not anymore. As for Legend of Zelda games, the first time we ever saw Link was frankly in counterfeit game. My mother used to play on the game on the PC as a browser game. We saw Link multiple times speaking, God forbid, and we wanted to know exactly where this mascot comes from. Sadly, as you will by now, the stupid joke, Legend of Zelda has nothing at all to do with Zelda and her legend, but everything literally to do with Link and his quest to save the always getting kidnapped Zelda. He runs in distress setup. At first, I didn't really mind them, but once again, say it with me, that fandom ruined the entire thing for me. You could also just go ahead and say it. Anything and everything that grows way too much famous to the point where its fans start making cults and worshipping it literally as a religion, as a made-up religion for themselves, enters instantly my shit list. I hate it, and it should not even exist. I don't care how much fans would like to show their gratitude, show their love for something. There are specific limits that should never be crossed. Fan-made materials are good enough for me. Fan-made content, songs, fan fiction to a certain limit. Original creations and so going forth. I don't really have many problems with them. However, once you start publicly attacking all the others that are trying to make similar stuff to the original content or copy them and do their own stuff from them, which is called inspiration by them, is when you cross the line. Also, by the way, those who keep every time commentating about the copyright infringement, you can shove your heads upon your butts. Okay? If you cannot do it, come to me and I shall do it for you. Every single software program has the right to take inspiration from other programs, not to the level of completely ripping off, but as much as it can to have its own identity. I am not supporting the bootleg or the straight out theft. Even though I am a complete supporter for piracy, I do support it because it immortalizes great games and saves them from the cursed publishers and shareholders that only look at us and their games as cash and nothing else. While we look at it as art and as pieces, masterwork pieces that are worth holding into. So, cards, collectathons, and card games. I don't mind them. I, in fact, do plan on trying out playing Inscription. That game is in itself a card game, which I do enjoy. Yu-Gi-Oh! Games, I already talking about which ones I played. Maybe I already visited this area. Yeah, Monster Collector, such as Monster Super League, Monster Rancher, and the like. I do enjoy them to a certain degree. Games about farming and simulators. Farming simulators, Harvest Moon, and the normal life sims. I'm not a big fan of them, honestly. I did in my childhood wish to own my own farm, make my own food, but it's just a complete waste of time. I already watched some very generous content creators making Let's Plays for these games, and if you are prepared to watch me doing the same exact routine for more than 200 to 300 videos, I will not be able to hold my sanity throughout all that time, personally. Games about other kinds of gaming, mecha games with robots and robot wars are not for me either. I used to like playing the Gundam games, Mobile Suit Gundam, but not anymore. Simply because I don't like to control this kind of stuff. So I tried to play the turn-based strategy combat, so such as Fire Emblem, Gaia, and strategy games. I do enjoy them sometimes. Not always, but I do sometimes. Games where you travel around the world, collecting your party members, and making friendship levels with them and whatnot. I like some personal interaction. I did previously play Fire Emblem on the Game Boy Advance. I think I'm like one of them both. And I enjoyed it for some time. I did enjoy it. It's because the problem, though, still was the fact that the game is very, very short for leveling up your characters. Once that choose your personal favorite ones, because unless you do so, all of the items needed for the upgrading will go to waste. All of the more focused upgrades will go as well. You need these to finish the game. I hate very much the exceptionally big games. Completely. Games with supernaturally hidden lure or explanations to make the players forcefully play detective. I loathe these very much. And don't even start with me about the all-out straight detective games such as the Ace Attorney games and investigations. I'm not into these things. Yes, I did watch. Watch Nintendo Capri-san playing these games, especially the Phoenix Wright series. Games where your main character is always being disrespected continuously non-stop, and the main character is always being shown as the comedic relief are my worst possible enemies. If you wish for me to play your game, I don't want to feel like I am getting bullied the very moment the main character himself gets bullied as well. Also, some other NPCs in the games are very much unworthy of living. Straight out, they are simply not supposed to be alive. I hate some of the main characters. I loathe and contempt completely some of the other characters. I don't care anymore, frankly. Some of the characters, I hated them so very much. I no longer cared whether they live or die. It reached that level. In fact, some of the characters as well in the series of Ace Attorney, I would not mind writing a completely canon fan fiction that even if I have to overwrite the existing canon in order for me to purge some creatures from living altogether. Some characters are just that goddamn bad, you just wish to literally kill yourself. I wasn't expecting this. So when you design characters that are too good to be true, and they do their exceptional role too well, sorry, but it's your problem, not mine. I get it, you need your characters to have exceptionally well-developed personalities, but there are also some kind of limits to the point where push the player so hard, they simply quit it. As a fact for you, matter of a fact, Spirit of Justice from Nintendo Capri-san, I didn't finish that Let's Play watching. I simply disowned its existence altogether, and I have completely disowned the existence of the Ace Attorney collection. I no longer care about it. As much as I don't care anymore about Mario games, no more about Metrovania, no more about Donkey Kong games, I loathe and disown the existence altogether about all of Wolfenstein games. I am sick and tired of the many bloody times that people get to play the Second World War, kill the Germans, kill the Nazis, kill Hitler. I am sick of these games. Because by now, this is no longer a game, this is just a guilty pleasure. I hate playing games about the world wars because I hate to kill the Japanese, I hate to kill the Germans, and I am super sick of playing always as the Allied forces. Speaking of which, playing is build your base games and real-time strategies RTS. I enjoy playing Command and Conquer series. I am always with the Red Army, not the blue one. I enjoy playing Red Alert spin-off, Red Alert 1, Red Alert 2, Red Alert 3, and for Command and Conquer Generals, I do not play it, the first-person spin-offs. Point made simple and clear for you all. I am not a patriot. Okay? I am not American. I'm not a patriot. And in fact, since this is my channel and I have the complete right to say whatever the hell I want, I am going to completely rename America into its more suitable name, since it is the only one that true suits it. Alien Vision. Since the aliens, whenever they come to this castle planet, only ever visit the United States for whatever reason, and they only attack it alone and only it alone, I'm going to name it literally Alien Vision. Once the aliens start to attack, the human-made aliens start to attack all the other countries, then I will give it a name again. From now on, whenever I see Alien Vision, it means the United States. I am completely sick and tired of seeing them being depicted as the unstoppable, immortal forces of the made-up justice, the human superiority, and all kinds of patriotism and funding the army, and if you do not listen to us, we will purge you. Frankly, throughout all these games, the only message that ever reaches me is that in order for you to police the entire planet, which you only have a single country side of it, while there are other 194 countries that are equally strong or even possibly greater in their culture, people, etc. I don't care about the army size. Your army are still humans from the start. Do not see them as humans, you see them just as mere weapons, which is loathsome. I'm not here to rant, just let's continue on. The games that are with 4 X's: explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate, such as Age of Empires, Command and Conquer, Age of Mythology, and so on, where you play as a leader for an entire faction. Also, you could call it with Frostpunk, the latest Steam game, where you literally build your own city around a fire generator, trying to survive. That also goes into the survival genre. I do enjoy these games because they have lots of choices, consequences, and experimentation. And since you can literally go all out full dictatorship, seemingly the 4 presidents of the United States who were slave traders and supported slavery, to the point where they actually printed their faces on the mountain, Rashomon, if I'm not mistaken with its name, and stole its holy meanings from the native Red Indians that were actually, in fact, the true Americans. I must stop ranting. I do not see the Germans as dictators. I do not see Napoleon as a dictator either. And whoever keeps making fun of his height, by the way, in France, Napoleon was just as high, as tall as everyone else. Hitler was just average, very normal, very just humanoid. Those who keep making fun of him non-stop for being a short guy or a midget, first and foremost, shame on you for being racist. Shame on you for being insensitive and moralless. And you have no right to judge others on the way their creation is. Genetics are not controlled by humans, and thus humans have no right to judge them. If you wish to keep attacking other countries for being bad or not following your very exact laws, I remind you again, 194 countries exist. The US is not the world. Never was and never will be. We still have Asia, Europe, Africa, the Middle East, Australia, Antarctica, etc. Also, religion is not races. The Jews, the Christians, Muslims, Hindu, etc. These are religions and not races. So whenever you wish to talk about some people like this, remember that you're not only depicting the Arabs or the Asians or the Jews or whatever, you are literally talking about everyone that is included in that specific religion, which makes you one much bigger, immoral person. I must not make this video too much political. Sheesh. Let's just go back to the gaming genres. My face is heavy with the pulse, which means I have enriched myself by myself. How funny. Let's see here. Games where you are exceptionally overpowered. Easiest example here would be Altered Beast, Luke, Skyrim. Most of the Elder Scrolls games where you play as power fantasy. You are literally the final boss of the game, and everyone else, the NPCs, are trying their best to get rid of you, and they will not be able to do that. I enjoy living power. If I am unable to live in power while I'm awake, at the very least I would like to live it when I am playing video games. People say that being an overpowered character or someone that is not forced to go from zero to hero style is not worth it, and you gain nothing while playing it. First and foremost, if you don't like a game, do not simply put